Welcome to Inspired Changemakers, a podcast about all the amazing things people are doing to make the world a better place. This podcast is about creating change and the moments that inspired our guests to activate. My name is Julia Healey, and I'm the CEO of United Charitable. Stay tuned to be inspired. Annoica, welcome to the podcast, Inspired Changemakers, where we talk about everything that's changing, which we're very comfortable with here. And you are one of the definitions of an inspired change maker because what you do with your career and Girls on the Run. But with that, I am going to read your bio, and we'll start with that. So, Annoica Ingram has served as the executive director of Girls on the Run for the Shenandoah Valley since 2021 after volunteering as a coach for 9 years. So they hooked you. They got you.
They totally hooked me.
Totally hooked you. Her work centers around helping young girls build confidence, resilience, and healthy habits through physical activity and mentorship. She's a longtime advocate for youth development and community-based programs in the Shenandoah Valley.
I am.
So welcome.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So Shenandoah Valley, why that area? Is that where you were born and raised, or?
No, I followed a boy.
Did
It's
you?
always a boy. I'm originally from upstate New York, where I met my husband. And we got married, he finished school, and we ended up in Charlottesville, and then he found a job in Winchester, which I always was like, what is that crazy apple blossom mall sign? Because we would drive by it all the way to go back home to New York, and somehow I ended up here.
That's awesome. And then how did you find out about Girls on the Run?
A good friend who lives near me brought Girls on the Run to Winchester, and I was sort of voluntold that I was going to be a coach the first season. And so I did it, and I said yes every season since.
And so tell me, what is Girls on the Run?
Girls on the Run is this amazing program that's been around for 30 years, believe it or not. Yep, their 30th anniversary is this year for our Girls on the Run International. And so Girls on the Run is a program that's a 10-week-long curriculum. The girls meet twice a week for 90 minutes with volunteer-trained coaches, and they learn through our curriculum-based program how to be good friends, choose good friends, healthy choices, conflict resolution skills, how to give back to their community through a community impact project, which is all girl-driven, which I think is pretty amazing to teach girls that young how it makes you feel to give back and connect to your community. And while they're doing all of that, they're training for this impossible task of completing a 5K at the end of the 10-week season, which is about setting and obtaining a long-term goal that seems completely and utterly impossible on day one, but they all do it.
And I will say how I learned about Girls on the Run is my third grader came home with a flyer that says, Mom, I have to do this. And I was like, oh, what is it? And she's like, it's a running club. And I was like, oh, okay, because that's what went into my little third grader's brain. And I started researching, and I was amazed with the curriculum that comes alongside with the physical skill. So is there a reason that it was that you guys put both together?
Well, because I think what happens for most people, you don't discover it until you're an adult, that when you move your body, you feel better mentally. So being able to tie that together, especially for girls that age, to be able, because some of these concepts are really big.
Yeah.
So being able to tie movement together with learning something, but not really making them think they're in a lesson, is really nice. So it kind of helps make everything come together just so delightfully. Because it's like one of the things I really liked is learning how to surround yourself with good friends.
Yep.
So they have a thing that they do where they play tag. All of their teammates are their good friends. All of the coaches are their bad friends. So the coaches will tag them, and they're stuck. They can't do anything until one of their fellow teammates come and untags them and says a Girls on the Run phrase to them. So it gives them that big picture of like, oh, I get to feel it, I get to learn it. And so it's just, that's why it has to have both of those things. You just can't sit and tell a 3rd through 5th grader a lesson and say that you're going to learn this. You have to have them physically do something fun that makes it so they don't realize they're learning.
And when you said a Girl on the Run phrase, What is that?
Like, believe in yourself, you find your star power, or you're amazing, or just because you showed up today and you tried the best you could do. Wasn't your best day, but you tried. Those sorts of things. So like just recognizing that everyone has that power within them.
I'd like to thank United Charitable for sponsoring today's Inspired Changemakers podcast. United Charitable is a national nonprofit that focuses on guiding you on your charitable journey. Whether you like to simply streamline your giving or you like to create your own charitable initiative, United Charitable has the knowledge and resources to support you. If you'd like to learn more, check out the link in our bio. My favorite moment thus far of the program is that Madison came home with a name tag. And one of the first days she got to pick an adjective that describes herself. And she writes it on her name tag. It's gonna make me cry. And she picked Mighty Maddie. Right? Like all of a sudden this little third grader now, who there's not that many third graders because, it's third through fifth graders. So I think there's only like 3 other third graders in her program. And she's already like, I'm mighty, even though I'm like littlest one here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run this. And I'm going to be like my older sister who runs cross country. It just gives her such a feeling of empowerment.
It does, because the one thing about the 3rd through 5th grade program, so the Go-To program and there's a Heart and Soul program, which is 6th through 8th grade, which you'll get there.
Yeah.
But the 3rd through 5th grade, sometimes this is the first time these girls have had an opportunity to be on a team.
Yep.
Because team sports and certain more like boys have more opportunities to be on team sports and do things like that, where girls don't.
Right.
So this sort of gives an opportunity for girls that age group to feel what it's like to be supported by their peers in a team-like setting. Because they're a team first, and then they're Go-To girls second. So they're a team. So they get to rely on each other and cheer each other on and learn what it feels like to have the support of your team. So that's one thing I really love about the program, is it's not just, it's Mighty Maddie, but it's Mighty Maddie's team as well.
And how many, so you're in Shenandoah Valley, so how many programs are you currently running?
So we are, our council area is 13 counties and 2 cities. So we are the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia all the way down 81 to Rockingham, Harrisonburg.
Wow.
So currently right now we have 215 girls registered for our season. We should have more. I'm working on it. And we have 15 teams. And I think 2 of them are Heart and Soul teams and the rest are Go-To teams.
So now what is the Heart and Soul?
So Heart and Soul is a program specifically developed for our girls in middle school. So our 6th through 8th graders. That one's a little harder sell because those girls have so many opportunities to do other things, and sometimes it's not cool to be on an after-school activity. So they're sort of different. So girls in 3rd through 5th grade sort of need more coach input, more guidance on how to sort of get and learn what we're trying to get towards. Where the middle school program is the 16 acres, those girls have a lot to say and sometimes don't have a safe place to say it. So the coaches are there more to like drop a little thing in and let the girls discuss it amongst themselves. So they're both set up the same thing. They're both a curriculum. They both meet twice a week. It's just delivered in a little bit different way.
So the older one is more of like the cohort learning, where they get to learn from each other and discover things together.
Correct.
Rather than faculty led, where it's like the coaches.
Yes.
Okay. And what has made you stay with this organization for so many years?
Now that I look back, it has been a bit. Because we're Girls in the Shenandoah Valley is coming up on their 15th year in November, and I was there for the very first 5K. So I think if I had not actually been there and seen the amazing changes of the girls from the first day to the last day, I don't think that I would do it. I really do love 3rd through 5th grade girls. Like, I think they're fabulous. But just being able to see, just reading these words from a curriculum and seeing the changes from girls from the first day, not looking in the eye, not wanting to interact, not feeling like a cohesive team or part of anything else other than feeling alone, really made me see the change that I could make twice a week for 10 weeks. So it's just amazing to watch girls like realize they have power, realize they have a voice, and realize they can share and be listened and heard from.
And what do you think it does for them long term?
Long term, we actually the program has been studied, and it actually shows the girls gain confidence. They gain more ability to like raise their hand in class where they might not before. Try new things. They learn that moving their body makes them feel better. So a lot of the girls who weren't very active before become more active. They learn how to be like more active in their community as well. So they learn all of these great things that we as adult females probably wish we had learned earlier in life, but they learned them then. So I think that's what I think is so special about this whole thing.
And, it's really shifting, I think as adult women, especially as moms, I think sometimes we think that self-care or taking care of ourselves is selfish, right? Because we have so many other things to do, especially.
They're us.
Yeah, especially like when you run a nonprofit as well. But you're teaching them early that self-care and taking care of themselves is love.
It is.
It's a form of loving yourself.
And it makes you feel better so you can actually do better things.
Right. And you can control your emotions better. Do you have a favorite lesson? Like, if you looked at the curriculum, what is the one thing that you really think that the message that you get across is so powerful?
I think the one thing is like, so we have 3 different themed ones for Girls on the Run. So there's 3 different curriculum, which is great. So the girls can all do it like 3 different seasons in a row and learn something new every time.
So cool.
So there's Hello Superstar, Hello Mountain Mover, and Hello Boltart.
Okay.
But one of the things I really think I like is because at that age, we start to have all those negative self-thoughts that kind of start creeping in. So the one thing I really like is when the girls come up with a sound to recognize, because I do it. Like we all do it. You have those negative self things that pop in your head, and you're like, wait. And so like they would always come up with this like, or something like crazy. And you're like, all right, stop. Which is great because you just get in that cycle where you keep thinking all those negative thoughts. You're thinking the negative thoughts, and then you go, but so you rephrase it.
Right.
Like, I'm a bad runner. Like, I'm never going to complete a 5K. And you go, with practice throughout this 10 weeks, I will be able to complete a 5K. So it's like learning, like recognize you're having a negative self-talk, how to turn it around and how to make it seem reasonable. Like so you don't feel like you're at a loss.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of my favorite ones because I think everyone can use that one.
Negative self-talk is such a thing. Most women struggle with it.
It does.
And there's
I do. We all do.
We all do. And how many books there are out there. Can you imagine if you had an 8-year-old, when you were in 3rd grade, somebody going, hey, when you tell yourself that you can't do it all the time, that's not right. Like, rescript that, Like, it would just be. And then, do you have one success story that really sticks with you?
Oddly enough, we do this thing called National Coach Training. So it's one of the things I think is very unique about Girls on the Run is we actually train our volunteers how to work with the girls and deliver the program the way it's written. Because a lot of youth development sports, you're just like, I love baseball. I'm going to teach you how to play baseball. They don't teach you how to work with that age group and like what their needs are and how to see things from their viewpoint. So I was at National Coach Training, and I looked at this girl and I go, she looks so familiar. She was one of my go-to girls. She's a coach. I have 2 go-to girls here at Virginia Avenue who are now coaching this season. So one's been coaching, I think this is our 3rd season at Kids Club, which is a nonprofit that we partner with in the Winchester area. And so we write a grant so all of their girls can attend Girls on the Run for free because it's a low-income after-school resource. And so she's coaching there because she used to go there after school as well. So it's like this total comeback circle, and it just makes me feel old. But I feel it's like so amazed that she's come back and now she's giving back to our community in the same way.
And so if you wanted to get involved in Girls on the Run, how could you?
We have a lot of different ways. It's because I know not everyone can block out after school for an hour and a half, 10 weeks. So our coaching is twice. We offer coach training twice a year right before our season. So we have a fall season, which usually starts August, and then we have our spring season, which is in February, and they can register through our website or get information. You can do a one-day thing. We always need our 5K volunteers. We have this amazing 5K that's at the end of every season, and all of the girls from our entire council area come to one 5K. So it's pretty special to see all these girls. So we have anywhere from 175 to 250 girls come to the 5K. So we always need people to help out with that. We have board members. We're always looking for people who want to help us empower more people to do this work. We have ad hoc committees. If you have some skill you want to share with me, email me and I will figure out how to be able to utilize it. So just go to our website, go to shenandoahvalley.org, scroll at the bottom, hit the info and email me and we'll figure it out.
And when you looked at how you were volunteering your time, was women empowerment or girls empowerment something that you were always interested in? Can you trace that back?
Thinking back, I'm kind of envious of the girls who go there because they learned how to give back at a younger age. I didn't really have that, and I didn't realize the power that I had by just volunteering my time. So I really think this being voluntold to be a Girls on the Run coach kind of set me off. I always was the one hanging out with the kids at the parties, always helping kids or reading or so. I always loved that and giving back to my community by volunteering through my children's school. But if you would have asked me 20 years ago, I would be doing this. Like,
you'd be an executive director of a national nonprofit.
If you would have asked me in 2020, I would be like, no. Because I was like, it was just when my kids were just getting to the point where I was going to be an empty nester. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with all my free time?
And we felt it.
I got voluntold again. No, again.
And then so now, are you a runner?
I was I live in Charlottesville. And I don't know if you know anything about Charlottesville, but if you live in Charlottesville, you have to run. Like, everybody runs. So I started out with the women's 4 mile. I think it was the 4 miler. So I started with that, and I worked my way all the way up to a marathon. And then I did the Marine Corps Marathon in 2011. And so it was we didn't think it was going to happen. And then it did. So I did that. I did a fundraiser for the Children's Hospital, and I was like, oh, I'll do it, and I'll get into it. And it was just like...
So I think there's some volunteering in that too.
I know, but it was like sort of sneaky-ish. But yes, but I didn't like really consider myself a volunteer. But once we moved to Winchester and my kids got a little older, I did like the Apple Blossom volunteering. I did the PTA, the school, like the mom of the room kind of thing. Yeah. So I did those sorts of things, and then like the vaccine clinic, and I just kept going.
You kept going.
I really like it.
I would like to thank Athletes Charitable for sponsoring today's Inspired Changemakers podcast. Athletes Charitable offers a concierge membership service that provides the tools and resources to build a legacy through service. Our athlete-led team has the first-hand experience and expertise to provide hands-on support that simplifies the entire process for athletes and entertainers to reach their social entrepreneurship goals and create lasting impact in their communities. To learn more, check out the link in the bio.
And I actually found out about you not only through Madison, but also your board of directors. Tell me how special that group is.
They're amazing. So we really built it up because when I went on in 2021, it was COVID. A lot of people fell off, and so our board chair at the time, Wendy, did an amazing job of working with Girls Run HQ. Had this new like Build Your Board Back Better cohort. So we attended it and learned about all these different things, how to make our board stronger, what to look for, how to build a matrix to see like what we were missing. And we used it. I love a good cohort, a good try something out. So we did that, and we're much more intentional about who we selected to be on our board, who we reached out to, and our board's a working board. You just cannot have just any old human on it saying, I just want my name to say I'm a board member.
Yeah.
So they're great. They all have different skills and different things that they're comfortable doing, and they've been fabulous. I've just been happy to work with them.
And from what I know is that each one of your board members is required to go visit.
That's something newish that I decided that was tough. So Girls in the Run, we would like to have like all of our sites visited. Yeah. Not really to like see just to check in, and because our volunteers are the backbone. If we don't have volunteers, I don't have Girls in the Run teams. So I want them to feel supported, and we care for them, because I do. Because without them, I couldn't do what I do. So I can tell my board members all day long
how great
the program is,
the energy,
the impact of the program.
Correct.
You can read the curriculum,
yes,
but until you see that thing in action with 8 to 15 girls being led by these volunteers, you have no idea.
And that's what I was so impressed, because you have a parent volunteer and you have teachers that volunteer to coach as well. So you're really bringing in and creating community.
We are. So before COVID, most of our coaches were teachers at the school, which made it a little easier because they have access to the families and can let them know about this program and can get people to sign in. I was a community I had nothing to do with the Virginia Avenue Elementary School. I just was like, it worked in my schedule. I could go there and volunteer and be home by the bus. So I was a community member, but it sort of switched. After COVID, all the teachers were sort of overwhelmed, underappreciated, and didn't have that extra time that they could volunteer because they were already trying to catch these poor kids up who are so behind. And so now we try to partner a lot more with community members who might not be associated. So I've been really trying to work on partnerships with like JMU and SU, because kids that age, they love students. They love college students, and it helps them see where they're going to be and not too long off. So DG Cooley definitely has a mixture, but some are all teachers, some are all like T.A. Lowry, which is in Jefferson County, those are all P&G employees. Like there's not one single person, because one of our board members is P&G, so she gets people to come on board from her company to be coaches there. Because without them, I wouldn't have a team at T.A. Lowry.
But I think that's such a strong skill,
It
too.
is.
Because Maddie looks at that, or any girl looks at that and says, who's going to show up for me? Who can I go to? And how do I ask questions? And when you give them a variety of people to ask that from, it helps them then when they're in 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade, use their community to learn.
It does. It definitely gives them different mentors, because every person, you can't have enough good mentors.
No.
And one of the things I really like about our national coach training is that we do this whole thing about looking through lenses.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of make sure you're not, like you're trying to take a step back and see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if I'm looking through my lens at you, I might see something that's not really there, or I bring a prejudice to it.
Correct.
So it's about, she's like, she wasn't acting herself today. Let's see why. Like, is she being defiant, or she had a bad day at school, or something happened at home? It's like taking a step back to say, let's see where I can meet you today.
Right.
So that's why it's great also to have like different people as mentors, and they, because everybody brings a different experience. So it's so nice when we can tell people or get people interested in being a coach and teach them how important 3 hours a week can be to girls in our community.
And what is the future? Where would you like to grow this to? If you had all the unlimited funding.
I would like every single girl who's in 3rd through 8th grade to have at least completed one season of Girls in the Runner Heart and Soul, just because I think it would make the world so much better to give these girls the confidence to realize that they can do it.
And if you had to say that, there's one message that has been like that you would hope each child gets, is there one message?
I would just that they're that they're special. Like, they're just unique and special, and we believe in them.
I love the script, or that you're telling them that they can accomplish anything through practice. And I just think it's absolutely amazing. So my other question is, did your kids do Girl on the Run?
No, we didn't get Girls on the Run to Winchester before they sort of aged out. And so they didn't. But don't worry. Every once in a while, my youngest, Mom, is that a Goater lesson? I go, maybe. Perhaps it might be a Goater lesson. Maybe I might have gotten from the Goater curriculum. Because Girls on the Run is great. It does a survey at the end of every season asking caregivers and coaches, and even the girls have a section where they can give feedback, and they kind of take that in. But a lot of times the coaches consistently say they feel they get more out of the program than the girls do.
Man, my favorite part so far is that, I think I told you this, is that I got a book that teaches me how to support Maddie as she is going through this process. And so when she came home, and they must have had the negative self-talk, and I was negative self-talking myself as I was cooking dinner, because I was like, God, I can't cook today. Like, I was just like, I'm a horrible cook. And she goes, Mommy, that's negative self-talk. And I was just like, wait, what? And she goes, and we had the book, and it was the lesson, and I was like, oh my God, she's taking what she's learning, and she's able to recognize it in other people. And she doesn't want me to negative self-talk, because she says, you know what she said to me? She goes, Mommy, it's bad for your brain.
It is.
And I was
She's completely right.
I was like, oh, is it? Like, yeah, it is. But it was very interesting that she was recognizing that I do it to my, and then same thing with her spelling words and all of the things. And she's now trying to add a phrase to it. She's like, I can't spell. And she'll be like, because she wants to say I can't spell and then just leave it alone so she doesn't have to study. But now she adds this little catchphrase, which is yet.
That's so special. In 90 minutes.
But it's also coming from people that are not her mom.
Correct.
It's coming from her cool teacher, who happens to be 23 years old.
They are the coolest.
And just the coolest teacher, like Miss Trinary is the way. She's just the coolest, right? So and she used to be a cheerleader, and she grew up in Berryville. So like everything Madison would want. She glows. Yeah, she just glows. And so it's a community that they build, and I'm assuming each program is very similar to that everybody they get to feel like they're part of the special sauce.
They do. And the other thing that teachers say when they feel that they get a different connection.
Yeah.
That they don't get in the classroom because they can't get that sort of connection and learn at the depth of that child that they can into the classroom.
So then tell me the role of the running buddy. And that's probably one of my last questions about the program, because we keep getting emails and volunteers about like, does your kid have a running buddy?
All right, so a running buddy is the cool adult that gets to complete the 5K, the goal-setting part of the 10-week season. So the running buddy is anyone who can cheer them on, and a running buddy doesn't actually have to be a runner. They just have to be able to keep pace with the kiddo.
Yeah.
So we have a running buddy for a couple different reasons. So one, our race is a community race, so it's open to anybody in the public who wants to run a 5K. Our 5K is non-competitive. We don't time it. That's not the reason for this.
Right.
The 5K is about setting and attaining a goal. And so the other thing is when that girl crosses underneath the girls in the run, blow up pink, green, and white arch, it's a big, huge moment to realize they did do it. Like day one, they're like, there's no way. They all do it. They all cross it. And they are so excited.
Proud.
And having a running buddy with them impacts that, shares it, makes it bigger because they're there to share that joy with them. And to see the parents come across, it's usually if the parents get to do it, it's so amazingly special to see that bond, because it's a core memory. Like it's a big memory, and it's just for the whole family. And that's what a running buddy is. It's just someone to cheer them on and be like their cheerleader throughout and encourage them and help them if negative self-talk creeps in.
God. Well, Annoica, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. We are so excited to shine the light on Girls on the Run, which is an incredible organization, and thank you so much for you do for our community.
Well, thank you for giving me time and space to share the program with other people. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Find Inspired Changemakers on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and comment on all the awesome things you are doing to make this world a better place. Don't forget to subscribe.